Hello, my name is Mariah Alvarado, and this is who I am. So, from the beginning, I have this quote by Tupac that states, "Did you hear about the rose that grew from the cracks in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong. It learned to walk without having feet. Funny, it seemed to be keeping its dreams. It learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from the concrete when no one else cared." So I picked this quote because it resonates with me a lot. I believe that, coming from the background that I have, as I stated before, I'm first generation everything, and I've been through many obstacles, but besides those obstacles, I've grown into the wonderful person that I am, and I'm still growing, and I've kind of not I didn't let anything stop me, basically. And that's what this kind of quote reminds me of. This picture right beside it is a picture of me when I was younger and my dad. And I chose this one specifically because my dad was there for me a lot during like my first couple years, as any dad is, but he was the person that was in my life the most. So The Constant Move by Anne Trute. I have no home but me. So growing up, I was placed into the foster care system, and I had to move from home to home a lot. And even though I didn't have to live with anyone I didn't know, thank God, I only moved with people that were in my family, I still didn't feel like I exactly had a home. I was moving around a lot. Everyone I moved with already had their own lives. They had their own kids. They were trying to start their own lives. So naturally, I felt out of place. And although it sounds really sad, it really made me into the person I am today, and it actually made me very independent. And so this quote states, "She stood in the storm, and when the wind did not blow her way, she adjusted her sails." So this, like I said before, my past has made me very independent. I feel like although I had to grow up very fast because of my childhood, it's kind of in a good way. Growing up, I faced lots of obstacles and I overcame many stereotypes, but I wouldn't have done without being independent. There was lots of times where I could have fell into all of these stereotypes that people were placing me under. There's lots of times where I could have let my life be thrown away, but being the independent person that I am, I didn't, and I stuck to my true self, and I knew that I had my own goals. And that's one of my favorite things about myself. So my happy place. So these are pictures from school. My happy place is school. I'm that person who loves to learn. I like to be in a classroom. I like to learn new things, talk to teachers, all that stuff. And so my happy place is school. It's where I feel like I can be my most truest form. It's where I know that I'm good at school, so it's something that I'm good at. I'm happy there, and it means a lot to me. That's why I've always known that I wanted to continue my education. My passion. This quote by Babe Ruth states, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." So my passion is softball. I absolutely love it. I started playing when I was like 10 years old, so I've been playing for about 8 to 9 years. It's brought me so much happiness, and it's really helped me and take my mind off of the things that I've been going through. And like this quote says, it's taught me to not be afraid to try new things. Even though I mess up, I never want to be afraid to try again or step out of my comfort zone, because I don't want to miss life, basically. The highs. Happiness lies in the joy of achievements and the thrills of creative effort. So one of my biggest highs was recent highs was around my high school graduation, which was in 2019. I graduated, which I knew I was going to graduate. It wasn't very much of a surprise for me. Like I said, school was always something that made me happy, but it was most definitely a high because I had gotten into a school that I would never even imagine myself getting into, which was Penn State. I just really felt like my whole life was coming together, and it was a very important time in my life because I was moving away from family, basically. Like I said, I'm very independent, and moving away was very excited for me because I felt like I was starting a new journey that was much needed. The lows. So this poem says, "When I'm upset, I shut myself down. I have no motivation for anything. I tell myself that nobody cares, even though I know some do. I think about all the negative things I could possibly think of. I give myself all the pain, thinking I deserve it. I'm not sure why I do that, but that's just how I am. So like anyone else, I have lots of lows, and you know, my most recent lows came right after my most recent highs, and it just happened to be when I moved to Penn State University. It was a very stressed time for me, being a first generation student, and not necessarily having the money to go to a D1 school, but having the brains to get accepted to one. And so that was a really big struggle for me. I had to make one of the biggest decisions of my life, I feel like, even though I know it's not, of coming back home and going to a community college, because I knew it was just best for me. I was just going through a lot during those times at that school, and it really drained me, which really sucked because I was excited for college and I wanted it to be the best time of my life. And that's okay, everyone has lows, but that's my most recent low, and everyone has them. So, growing. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So I actually heard this quote my freshman year of high school. I used it in an essay, and ever since then it really stuck to me. And sometimes I don't know, it's just always in the back of my head basically. And it's really true, because my whole life has brought me negative situations and obstacles and stuff like that, and I could have most definitely just kind of let them eat me up and let them tear me down and just be nothing if I really wanted them to. But I know that it doesn't matter what happens to me, it matters what I'm going through and how I react to it, how I let it affect me basically. So I can let some negative thing tear me down and I can cry about it all day and not do anything productive, or I can accept it, stare it in the face, and kind of move past it. And so these pictures are of my dog, which I recently got. I actually just recently lost him, and which I was devastated, but I got him back. Makes me so happy. I'm never alone because he's always by me. And my two younger sisters, who are actually my world, with my youngest sister, great, love her, she's only 4. With my middle sister, we're only 2 years apart. We do butt heads, but it happens, and I still love her, and I would do anything for the both of them. But yeah, so I am growing. I still have lows with my highs, and I still struggle to do everyday things sometimes. Like this presentation was actually kind of hard for me because I just don't like thinking about myself. It's just something I don't like to do, because then it forces me to confront the things that I have problems with or confront my emotions. But like anyone else, I am learning, and I am trying to become the best me that I can possibly be. And one of my biggest goals is to be happy and to go get into a university like I did before, pursue my education, get the job that I want, which is being a nuclear engineer, have the life that I want, and just be happy and stable, because I haven't really had that in my life. So that is one of my biggest goals, is to be happy and to be stable. So that's me, that's who I am. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much.